This is BBC World News. I'm Matthew Emery-Waller. Poland's Prime Minister confirms to the BBC that he's asked permission to send his country's German-made tanks to Ukraine. He demands a quick response, accusing Berlin of delaying, dodging and acting in a way that's difficult to understand.
An urgent move here is so important, and this is why we talked to our German partners to not procrastinate, not to delay, but just to take brave decisions.
Also on today's programme, not budging on female aid workers. Taliban leaders slapped down the call from the UN to lift their ban on women working for international aid agencies.
In our society, the man is responsible for supporting his household, for providing for women in his family. We don't see any problem if you don't deal directly with women.
And Everything Everywhere All at Once leads the Oscar nominations with 11 nods. We'll look at what else has made the cut. Hello and welcome back to BBC News, and we start with the issue dominating discussions among Ukraine's allies, sending German-made Leopard 2 tanks to Kyiv. Germany has promised an urgent response to an official request from Poland to send German tanks to Ukraine. Poland's Prime Minister wants an answer quickly, telling a press conference today the Germans are delaying, dodging and acting in a way that's difficult to understand. There's been huge pressure on Germany's leader since he failed to give the green light last week to European countries sending those Leopard 2 tanks. Well, my colleague Kasia Madera has spoken to Poland's Prime Minister. He told her speed was now critical in providing Ukraine with modern weaponry.
We have requested the approval from Germany to send Leopard tanks. We are now in the process of also building, let's call it a coalition of willing countries willing to support Ukraine at this juncture in this very critical moment of time. This is a very serious matter because, as we remember, a couple of months ago, the Kremlin ordered conscript process to start, and now the soldiers are being trained with the aim to attack Ukraine yet again from 2 or 3 different directions, because the Belarusian direction of attack may not be excluded. This is why an urgent move here is so important, and this is why we talked to our German partners to not procrastinate, not to delay, but just to take brave decisions and join the coalition of countries who want to send modern tanks, Leopard tanks, to Ukraine.
Prime Minister, as you say, you're saying that the Germans are delaying, that they're dodging. If you do not get the decision that you want, if they do not approve the sending of these tanks, what kind of deadline are you giving them, and will you just go it alone?
We will do this no matter what the decision is going to be, but we want to go along the procedures which are requested of us, and this is why we will be waiting for next couple of days, 1-2 weeks, for the official reply. Having said that, I'm in contact with prime ministers and presidents of other EU countries, NATO countries, to help Ukraine immediately, because Ukraine cannot afford to be left alone by the European Union. We have to collectively support Ukraine because this is a very serious matter, what is going on there.
1 or 2 weeks is actually quite a long time. Poland has the capabilities, has the spare parts, has the abilities to send these Leopard 2 tanks right now. Why delay?
We have sent already the biggest number of tanks from all the countries of NATO, 250 tanks. On top of those tanks, we are going to send very quickly a set of modern tanks, probably around 50 to 60 new tanks. What we talk about now, Madam, we talk about 14 tanks, Leopard tanks. So this is on top of what we have already sent. And now what would be the most important is to build a coalition of countries so that this is not only the 14 Leopard tanks which we can send to Ukraine. They require, the Ukrainian soldiers require some training, of course, and this always takes a couple of weeks. But also other countries, in particular Germany, they have 350 Leopard tanks operational and 200 Leopard tanks in stores. Why to keep them in stores? Even German company Rheinmetall said officially that they are going to send, they would be able to send more than 100 Leopard tanks. These are the numbers which we talk about and which are needed in Ukraine immediately.
Many German people view this as an escalation. They're worried about this escalating. What's your reply to people who fear that this kind of action would be seen as an escalation?
Let me put it this way. Poland and the free world cannot afford not to send Leopard tanks and not to send modern weapons to Ukraine, because the Kremlin and the Russians, whom we know very, very well, not only from our history, but they are our neighbors for more than 1,000 years, and we know their recent behavior, and we know how they act. The minute they attacked Georgia, they looked for another prey. The minute they attacked Ukraine, they looked for another face to attack Ukraine. And after the Crimean Peninsula, they have attacked Ukraine in 2022. And this is why we know very well that insatiable appetite of Russia to dominate, to conquer other countries is the true and sole danger, huge jeopardy for the security, stability, and peace in Europe. But I also believe that this war is important for the whole of our world. So the decisive and quick reaction of the free world, including the European Union, is critically important at this juncture.
Well, that was Poland's Prime Minister talking to the BBC. Of course, officials in Kyiv listening to those comments.